All right, so this is really exciting. I'm going to explain Trade Shield to you, and then I'm going to show you practical use. Okay. First of all, what we're looking at right here is we're going to go to 4 hours real quick, just so we can get some more days loaded. If you know how TradingView works, you got to go to a higher time frame to get days loaded. Right here, we got 4 hours loaded, so we've got 3,394 days sampled. Okay. So out of those days, 70.6% of the time, trend continued from the start of the daily candle. 29.4% of the time it rotated. Now I'm going to explain to you real quick how this is determined and what it's even meaning. Okay. So we're going to go on to like a time frame we would actually use, which is say 5 minutes, right, to look at, to execute, right? So how the trend determination works. So with 5 minutes, it's saying 78 days with 75% and 24% rotation. What does trend mean? So when the daily candle starts right here, okay, and our daily zone starts, this is the opening range of the daily candle, basically. All right. So when it breaks out and pushes up, for instance, like right here, and never comes back down, this is considered a trend day, right? And then if it comes back and breaks through, that's considered rotational. So this was considered a bullish trend day. This is considered a bearish trend day. This is considered rotational. Okay. So we went up and then we came down. So the daily candle rotated because this zone is the daily candle turn into that. This is considered a trend day bullish right here, even though we had this big manipulation dip and then it ran up. Our users right here looking at our trade shield know that we're not going to sell this. We're waiting to buy because we know that the zone is above and it's not dropping below. And when I show you the FLB, it's going to tell you that stay out or bullish or whatever. And just following that alone keeps you out of those bad trades, right? So this one right here was a manipulation push right at 9:30. See, it pushes up, but we know that we're bearish because our zone did not follow that up. It stayed down. So we go, oh, okay, this is the manipulation up. We sweep our high, and then we're taking trades that are confirming breaking down right here, right? So this turns red, and we're confirming that that's a bearish day. So that is the simplicity of how Trade Shield works. The complex part of it is just the formula that generates all these zones, right? That's the patent pending part. But see, here we go. We get a bullish day, and then 9:30 dumps, right? And then we rip back up. So we know that this is a false breakdown, and we want to be buying. Simply because of this, we don't get trapped into the sellers right here, right? So that's that. Now, let me show you how it works inside of the updated First Light Beacon. This is for TradingView and NinjaTrader. It works the same on both platforms. It's on both. So here is the 4-hour candle right here, right? This is the one I like to use the most. So we have our 4-hour candle, okay? And we're gonna look at this day right here, 9:30. See how these candles are dimmed? That's Trade Shield warning you that, hey, this is not a good time to trade, right? So see how the candles are dimmed? Now, we're going to look at that with a 15-minute chart. And so we'll go down into a 1-minute time frame just so we can see that. Not a chart, but a zone. So we have this zone is the 4-hour, and then we have the little baby one is the 15-minute. So this is a 4-hour candle converted, and this is a 15-minute candle converted. Now we're coming into 9:30 right here. Okay, so here is 9:26, here is 9:29. And here is 9:30. Boom. Look at that right there. We have broken Trade Shield into bearish at the top. That means everything is aligning. The 15-minute is agreeing. The 45 or the 4-hour is agreeing. Am I going to take that first candle? No, obviously not. But what I'm going to do is wait for the candle. Let me put on a hollow, right? Hollow, there we go. Is wait for the candle to get my confirmation pullback into my higher time frame zone right here, which is our 4-hour, right? And then look at that right there. So we are, and if you see this went gray. So this is telling you no entry. This right here is saying, yeah, you've got all you need, right? So you've got your breakdown, your pullback, breakdown. We're red. Trade Shield is bearish. We're getting into a trade. We're putting our stop there, and then we're going to run, right? And there is how you get into a trade like that. For example, and I don't know how far this went down, but you get the picture, right? Now, let's talk about how it keeps you out of trades. This is the most important thing that it does. All right. So this Friday, see how this is all gray. This is X's telling you no, this doesn't align. This is going to chop. This is not okay. Something's wrong. It's not falling in line. And look at that. See that right there? It never really flips to anything. Nothing is aligned. It's literally telling you to stay out of the market. And there's a lot of people this past Friday that lost a lot of money on the 26th because they got chopped around. It was a pretty choppy day. Now, here is the day before. Okay. I'm going to turn on the main thing here and I'm going to show you. Look, this is how it's determining. It's saying, oh, something's not right, right? This is end of Friday. This is the beginning of Friday. Something's not right. You're looking at it and you're going right at 9:30, right? You get this little breakout up. Okay, so if you scalped it, that's cool, right? Even though Trade Shield said bearish, but some people are going to do that just to scalp the momentum. You're looking at the rest of the day, and this is what it's doing. Look at the color of the zones. Neither one of them, you don't got double red zones, and they're flipping, and this thing is like going no, 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 and you would have avoided a lot of chop, getting into some crazy trades straight up and down, crap, right? And this is telling you avoid. So that's the power of the first light beacon and Trade Shield. Trade Shield is now built into it. Our algos are starting to get this logic put into them so that we can actually get true bias on direction. So like things like one shot, one kill and trend shift algo are all going to have this built into it so that we know, should we be going long or should we be going short or should we be doing absolutely nothing? And the users that are finding out, if they go against Trade Shield, they're typically losing those trades. You're getting chopped out. You're losing. This is an example right here, 9:30. Okay. We are chopping around. We break out up, we're chopping down. Here is a potential scalp down right here. And then we're chopping around, potential here. But finally at 124, we finally get our actual move of the day and it breaks down and trends. And Trade Shield is telling you that. The best part about this is you can literally set alerts on the changes right here. So you can, what I've done is I've actually created a master list of the things that I want to pay attention to called alerts right here, right? All these assets, okay? On a 15-minute time frame, I've got one alert, which is right here, that tells me on any of those assets, am I meeting conditions that I know are more than likely going to win? So here's the thing. If you go like into this Friday, what happened this Friday, right? That's you, and you bought the breakout from the momentum from 9:30. Cool, you won this trade, sure, okay, but statistically you're going against what happens most of the time, right? So at that point, it's kind of, honestly, it's kind of a gamble because you're fighting against a 70% percentage that if we break down or break up from our range, our zone, not price, the zone breaks that range, or the daily candle zone breaks the range or whatever. 70.6% of the time, it's a continuation. So if you're counter trend trading, you're gambling at that point because the statistics don't lie. You can't deny this. These are real numbers. This is based on 3,000 plus days. Okay. So if you just follow what Trade Shield is telling you, even though those trades sometimes wins if you don't, you're statistically going in the right direction. That is called statistical edge. And this is where you become a professional. If you want a free trial, all you got to do is click on instant access.